Friend like the lowly Jesus, no, not one, no, not one, none else can.
Let me tell you about when we first got telephones in ESTO. We had 8 party lines. Everybody had a different ring, like 2 shorts and a long, and 3 shorts and 2 longs. But anyway, they got them installed. And Vivian, of course, lived out there across the street from us. And she went outside and on her front porch was yelling for Sarah, my sister. And she yelled and she yelled and she yelled, and finally Sarah went out on our front porch and I said, "What you want, Vivian?" Vivian said, "Go inside, Sarah, so I'm fixing to call you."
You got to trust in the Lord every day. Yes, you got to trust in the Lord all the way.
Well, I can't remember really far back. I can remember when they had the brick stores down there. They had 3 there, and the passenger train would come through at night, and everybody gathered down there to talk once the train go through. And I do know that the school had a piano down there, and they wanted to sell it, so my grandfather bought it. And then he got a battery-operated radio, the first one they had around here, and everybody would come on Saturday night to hear the Grand Ole Opry.
What are some of your earliest childhood memories?
Earliest ones? Just kids playing around in the churchyards and things, playing ball. We called town ball. Usually had a little sponge ball. And we played a game tossing a ball over the church. And then if you catch it, you run around the other side and see if you can hit somebody with it. That's some of the early things we played. Get out in the pastures and take the pine saplings, bend them over and ride them like a horse, such as that. Oh, I had dogs all my life, a number of dogs. This is Pearl here. She was a gift. We don't know who gave her to us, but she just appeared at the house one morning, and she's been with us ever since. A dog named Mike was a bird dog that my dad had. He was a real good bird dog. He lived to be about 15 years old. I think everybody in the country hunted with him. And if you wouldn't take him hunting, he'd just go on his own.
Well, that was Daddy's dog, and Mama would let him come in at night. We had a fire in the wintertime. Mama would let him come in and lay by the fireplace. But when it got bedtime, he had to go out. And Daddy would feel bad about putting him out, so he would make Mama get the dog and put the dog out. Mama would go towards that dog would start growling, you know, but she would pick him up, put him outside. She did not tolerate a dog in her house, you know, overnight, but she would let old Mike come in.
Of course, at that time, A&P never had the coffee ground. I mean, it was bulk. You go in and buy a pound or whatever, and they put it in the coffee mill and grind it for you then. They had 8 o'clock, and I don't know what the other was, but a lot of people would go up there and say, boy, that's good coffee, that 8 o'clock coffee. But Hughes was up there, and he was getting some. And it asked you how you want it ground. You want it ground for a drippolator or a percolator? He said, hell, he wanted it ground for a syrup bucket.
Called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there.
She has a wart. How long have you had it, Paige?
I've had it since I've been like 6. Since you've been like 6. And how old are you now?
I'm 7.
You're 7. Okay. I'm going to do my little thing here. And when you forget about it now, you forget about what's been done. Don't look at your ward. Just forget about it. But it's on there. And it'll go away. Okay? All right.
And do you put anything, do you have any product you use or not?
No.
You don't have any product. Do you have certain words that you say?
Well, I can't tell you.
Okay. All right.
Oh, they tell me of a home far beyond the skies. They tell me of a home far away. Oh, they tell me of a home where the storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day.
You know, everybody would come to the store and you'd see everybody, and it just seemed like we knew what was going on in the community, you know. People don't visit. They're not neighborly like they used to be. And the reason they're not, that love is not there like it used to be. I know that we got a neighbor over here that Paul Thomas went and invited to church. And he told him he wasn't going to church, that he didn't believe in it. And they run him off and told him not to come back there. And you know, that was terrible.
Back in the 40s, I came back. I went through a plane crash. This is the plane before it crashed. And I was with a theatrical group, and here it is. This is original. Here's what I crawled out of.
My word.
When I painted, I just left my painting all set up in that middle room there, and that oil paint and that turpentine just permeated everything. And I got sinus trouble from it. And my nose is dropped, and from rubbing it and blowing, and with that sinus trouble, my nostrils have gotten bigger. And my teeth are protruding something off of me. I wanted to do something real dramatic. When I did this in lights and darks, real, but I couldn't pull it off. And so I just ended up with that.
There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you or evil a victory win? There's wonderful power in the blood.
I guess apparently in 1963 or so, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, I had gone by to pick up John. We were going somewhere, and they were watching, I can't remember if they were watching television or if they were listening to the radio, but it was something where the troops were all coming through ESTO, headed to the port down in the ship out. Ethel, John's mama, made the comment that she sure hoped we didn't have to go to war in Cuba. And Cullen, her husband, he just jumped right down her throat. Said, Ethel, that it's not Cuba, said it's Cubie. I guess you've heard the story about Charlie Holland burning the Baptist church. Surely you've heard that.
No.
Well, that's the reason they have that brick church up there now, because Charlie burned the old original frame church up there. Charlie had a beer joint here in ESTO, and back then you had a law that you couldn't be within 1,000 feet and sell beer from the church. He was within the 1,000 feet, and this is the honest truth. He flipped a coin to see whether he moved or burned the church. And it fell, burned the church, and he burned it and served 2 years in the penitentiary for burning the Baptist church. You know, back in 1944, they were drafting just about anybody. They even drafted my dad and Clyde Griffin and 1 or 2 more here. That was Daddy was 35, 36 years old when they drafted him. And man, he didn't want to go. And Clyde didn't want to go. Just about had to put him on the bus, take him. Well, Clyde wasn't gone but a month. He got out somewhere, and Daddy was only gone like about 9 or 10 months. Came home. But anyway, Clyde was farming, and he had Henry and a bunch of other people up there in his cotton patch chopping cotton. And you know, Clyde was a great talker anyway. He talked so long and so loud, and all day long in that cotton field. He was telling Henry how he and John Clark enlisted in the Army. Enlisted, mind you now. And he said when old Hitler heard that him and John had enlisted, he said he immediately gave up and quit. He said it wasn't long after that the word got over at Tojo in Japan that he and John Clark was in the Army. And said he quit. This went on all day long. Well, Henry didn't hardly say a word all that day during all that conversation that Clyde was putting on him. But he come back next morning, says, "Mr. Griffin, I told Papa what you said." And he said, "You just a liar."
Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me.
I had a family that lived right behind the store, Miss Hughes, Miss Ethel Hughes and her husband. And of course they looked after me, I think. I know he did. If he saw strangers coming in, he would walk through the store, you know, and then walk back out through the store, making sure everything was okay. And that meant a lot to me. And then, you know, I look forward to seeing, you know, like U.T. Kirkland and Jimmy Kidd coming out of the morning and drinking a Coca-Cola. And Walter Dixon. Some of the men, they always come and drink. And Delmer, you know, I really look forward to her coming. And then Laura. And, so many people. All of our church folks was fat. You know, you hear those saying, those was the good old days. It was good days.
I'm glad morning when this life is over.